Are you looking for the best monitors? In this video we will look at some of the best monitors. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description. So make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Number 1. Samsung Odyssey OLED G8/G80 SDS32D G80. The Samsung Odyssey OLED G8/G80 SDS32D G80 is the best monitor for PS5 that we've tested. It's a high-end 4K, 32-inch monitor that's incredible for gaming. While the console can't fully use the monitor's fast 240Hz refresh rate, it still supports any signal, including 4K at 120Hz, thanks to its HDMI 2.1 bandwidth. This high refresh rate is also beneficial if you want to connect your gaming PC on the side. On top of that, it has a near-instantaneous response time for crystal-clear motion with fast-moving objects. Besides its high-end performance for console gaming, it also delivers premium picture quality thanks to its QD OLED panel. HDR games look fantastic, with rich, vivid colors. The monitor has near-perfect contrast, displaying deep blacks next to bright highlights, and is great for playing games in a dark room. It even has fantastic reflection handling in a bright room thanks to its matte coating, but if you prefer something with a glossy coating, check out the MSI MPG321URX QD OLED instead. It performs similarly, but it's sometimes harder to find. That said, the MSI is worth getting when you can find it available. Number 2. LG 27GS95QEB. If you don't need the best 4K monitor for PS5 with premium features but still want something with fantastic gaming performance, then an upper mid-range option like the LG 27GS95QEB is a great alternative. It's different from the Samsung Odyssey OLED G8/G80 SDS32D G80 in a few ways because it has a lower 1440p resolution. While this means images are less detailed, it still supports HDMI 2.1 bandwidth and can downscale 4K signals at 120 Hz, which results in a more detailed image than native 1440p. It also has an OLED panel, so it has a near-instantaneous response time, resulting in extremely sharp motion. While it isn't a QD OLED like the Samsung, and colors aren't as vivid, it still displays deep blacks in dark rooms. It's also fine if you want to game with it in a bright room, but if you want an OLED that gets even brighter, look into the Asus ROG Strix OLED XG27AQDMG instead. However, it lacks HDMI 2.1 bandwidth to take full advantage of the PS5 and PS5 Pro. Number 3. LG 32GR93UB. While OLEDs like the LG 27GS95QEB and the Samsung Odyssey OLED G8/G80 SDS32D G80 offer the best gaming performance and picture quality, they're also expensive. If you want to save money, look into a mid-range monitor like the LG 32GR93UB. It's a step down in picture quality from the OLED monitors because it has a low contrast ratio, and blacks look gray in dark rooms. It doesn't even have a local dimming feature to further improve the picture quality, but that's the trade-off for getting something cheaper. You can check out the Sony InZone M9 if you want something with better picture quality, but it's becoming hard to find. The 32GR93UB has a higher 4K resolution than the 27GS95QEB, delivering detailed images. It also has everything you'd expect to find in a gaming monitor, like HDMI 2.1 bandwidth. Even though it doesn't have a near-instant response time like an OLED, motion still looks sharp. It's even a good choice if you want to use it in a well-lit room, as it gets brighter than the OLEDs and has great reflection handling. Number 4. AOC Q27G3XMN. If you're looking for the best PS5 monitor on a budget, check out the AOC Q27G3XMN. It's different from the LG 32GR93UB because it has a 1440p resolution and lacks HDMI 2.1 bandwidth to take full advantage of the PS5, and it doesn't support HDMI 4M VRR to reduce screen tearing with the console either. That said, this is what you have to expect from a low-cost monitor, and you can still play games with a 1440p resolution up to 120 Hz. It's better than the LG and most other entry-level monitors in terms of picture quality because it features mini LED backlighting and has a good local dimming feature. This means it displays deep blacks next to bright highlights, which is great for HDR gaming, and it also gets bright enough to fight glare in well-lit rooms. In terms of gaming, it has a fast response time, but there's some smearing with fast-moving objects. One thing to know is that it sometimes goes out of stock, so if you can't find it available, the Acer Nitro 15275 UP3 is a good alternative that also has mini LED backlighting, but it has worse motion handling than the AOC. Number 5. Dell G2724D. If you're looking for the best gaming monitor for PS5 and don't have much to spend, consider the Dell G2724D, which you can get for a cheap price directly from Dell's website. It's a step down from the AOC Q27G3XMN, and there are a few differences. It doesn't have mini LED backlighting, and its local dimming feature is terrible. Also, it looks worse in dark rooms as it fails to display deep blacks, bright highlights, and vivid colors like on the AOC. On the plus side, it has a 1440p resolution and still offers good gaming performance as it has a fast response time, and there's less smearing than on the AOC. Additionally, it supports VRR with the PS5 to reduce screen tearing, which is a feature the AOC doesn't have. However, it's one of a handful of monitors that don't have an audio output, so you can also check out the Asus ROG Strix XG27ACS if that's important to you. It performs similarly to the Dell but also costs more for a handful of extra features.